Welcome to Lineups and Lures, where the talk runs from the dugouts to drift boats. We're all about the games we play and the waters we fish, the stories, the rivalries, the moments that keep us coming back. If it happens under the lights or out on the water, we're in. This is Lineups and Lures. All right, so we're sitting down to start recording today, and, well, the Mariners made a move. They made their big trade of the offseason. Brendan Donovan is on his way to Seattle as part of a 3-team deal. At the time of recording, we don't really have the full trade layout of all the players, but everybody's saying it's going to be Ben Williamson to Tampa Bay and switch pitcher Girangelo and Ty Pete going to St. Louis in return. So essentially the Mariners are giving up Williamson, Girangelo, and Ty Pete to bring in Brendan Donovan. And who knows, there might be more pieces involved, but as we're sitting down to record, this trade's coming across. Well, immediate reaction.
Well, and the other thing is we haven't figured out what Tampa Bay's getting out of this deal either.
Well, I think Ben Williamson is going to Tampa. So what I was reading is Williamson to Tampa, and then the two pitchers going back to St. Louis.
Right, so St. Louis needs to get something from Tampa, or we're getting something from Tampa.
Yes. Yeah, so there's still more pieces, but in general, that's not terrible given. I mean, 2 first-rounders. Both those pitchers were first-round picks in 2023, 2024. Ben Williamson was not exactly overmatched at the major league level, especially defensively. Offensively, he definitely struggled. But that's not a bad deal for bringing in Brendan Donovan, especially with a couple years. He's a free agent in 2028. He's not going to be super expensive. I like the deal.
There's nothing to hate about this deal, right? I mean, it's you kick yourself if Williamson turns out to be something down the line, but there's a lot of ifs and buts, and we got another guy coming down the pipeline too that we need to make a spot for. So that's one. We only spent $5-6 million, so we didn't salary cap hamstring ourselves. The pitching, you never know what you're going to get there, but that's not exactly a weakness of ours right now. So at this point, we definitely solidified another infield spot, which means we 7 out of 9 positions, everyday starter is locked up. So, yeah, positives in my book.
No, I think it makes the lineup better because, you were looking at, obviously, Randy probably hitting leadoff again, Cal or Julio hitting 2 or 3, Naylor hitting in the 4 spot. Once you got into that, Randy hitting leadoff. Once you get to that 5 spot and below, I mean, it was getting a little rough. I mean, Robles, J.P. Crawford, Cole Young, Ben Williamson, DH, Platoon, Canzone, Rayleigh. I was a little bit worried about the bottom half of the lineup, but you put Donovan back in there, and now all of a sudden, you could potentially go Donovan in the leadoff spot playing third, Julio, Cal, Naylor, Rosarina hitting now in the 5 spot. Your DHs are Ref Snyder and Rayleigh. I'll take that. Ref Snyder crushes. Robles and Canzone out in right field. Crawford at shortstop. Maybe hit him 9. And then you got Cole Young, maybe Colt Emerson, maybe Ryan Bliss all at second base. That lineup kind of sneakily got deeper.
Yeah, the versatility that he brings, I think that's probably maybe one of the bigger keys to this trade than we're even looking at. I think over the course of the season, when you think that, look, guys are going to get niggling injuries along the way. No one's going to – it's not like the whole team is going to play 155 of them. And having a guy that can pretty much play every position in the infield is huge. When we won 116 games, 2.5 decades ago, we had a guy like that, and it was huge. So I like it.
Well, and, let's say Colt Young gets off to a slow start. Maybe you slide Donovan over to second base, bring Emerson up to play third. I mean, like you said, the versatility is there. It's not a bad deal, and we got a couple years of control, so it kind of seems like a good kind of win-win for everybody. But that's a great way to start off your week on a Monday. Is Mariners go make a good deal for the guy who's probably the next best player available, even though he's not a free agent, but making that deal, that's a big deal.
Yeah, and it sounds like the front office truly has been given the green light to go to work, which is, we saw that last year, and so
I think
positives. I think
this move is kind of pushed forward because of Gino signing over the weekend at 1 year, $15 million. How are the Mariners not making that deal? 1 year, $15 million to bring him back.
Well, I think the answer is they were working on Brendan Donovan.
I know,
and
but
I think the other end.
That's not 49 home runs and 120 RBIs.
Look, the only answer is they think Cole Emerson's going to come in and light the world on fire. I mean, that's got to be the answer, right?
You would think so. That would make sense.
And maybe they saw Gino as being a roadblock to being able to do that, and that's accurate. He absolutely would be a roadblock to that happening, but I mean, at the end of the day, that's the answer, and we're going to find out if they made the right one on that.
Yeah, well, let's hope our young guys come through, because I hate seeing Gino leave, not just because of his on-field production, but what he does in the clubhouse. So hopefully our young guys are ready to go. And, the Reds made the playoffs this year for the first time in a while, and, they've quietly kind of added some stuff over the winter. I mean, this is a nice little move for them to help improve their stock for next year.
It is, but it doesn't matter. They ain't winning the National League. So good for them. They're spending a little money, putting a good product on the field, but currently it does not matter.
Yeah, but just because you're not going to win the National League doesn't mean that you can't go out and put up a 90-win season, make the playoffs, re-energize your crowd. I mean, the Dodgers can't keep this up forever, right? And it's baseball. Yeah. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day. So that's why we play the games.
Like you said, they're doing some good things. I think we already got Gino in Randy Rosarito, and they're both kind of the same hitter. They swing out of the shoes, they hit you home runs, but they strike you out a lot, and they only hit 220. Now, you can't take 100-plus RBIs and 50 home runs off the board. I'm not trying to say that, that's not a huge deal. It is. But you also need guys to get on base, and I don't know, man. I kind of feel like maybe we got the best out of Gino. And the other thing is he didn't hit so good for us down the stretch. I mean, most of that damage was done in Arizona.
Yeah, over like a 1 month period, too. I mean, the guy absolutely caught fire right before the trade deadline.
So, you sit there and you go, I mean, look, I don't think he's hitting 50 again. I think he's a 25 to 30 guy. I think that's, in the same way, I don't think Cal's hitting 60 either. I mean, I hope we get 35 to 40 out of him. So I really didn't have a problem moving on from Gino. And the other thing is, don't be surprised if at the All-Star break his name doesn't come back up. So, especially if the kids don't hit. So that's where I'm at with that.
No, I like the moves. Makes me even more excited for the Mariners season coming up.
Hey there, I'm Chad with Jackson Painting and Remodel. And if you're looking to give your home a fresh new look, you've come to the right place. Whether you need a bold new color for your living room or a fresh coat to brighten up your home's exterior, my team and I have got you covered. We specialize in both indoor and outdoor painting, using only the best materials to make sure your space looks amazing and stands the test of time. If you're ready to transform your home, visit jacksonpainting.com. I'd love to come by, chat about your ideas, and give you a free estimate. At Jackson Painting and Remodel, we don't just paint, we make your vision a reality. Again, visit jacksonpainting.com or call 503-620-2600.
All right. Well, it's been a while since we've talked fishing, so let's get into some fishing trips. We actually got out on the water last week and floated the Wilson.
Well, you floated the Wilson. I didn't float the Wilson.
That's right. I floated the Wilson. The next day, we got out and fished the Wilson. That's right. Got my first 2 steelhead of the year.
It's good.
Yeah, it was
Well, to me.
low and clear. You know, it's been such a weird. I almost wanted to call it spring, winter. It's so dry. It hasn't even rained. We had that one big rain event that kind of blew everything out, and then after that, everything's been pretty low, and it's been just kind of a steady flow of fish slowly coming in. It's been really good.
Yeah, well, obviously we had those big rains before Thanksgiving, and the same reason that our skier and snowboarding friends are crying the blues. There's just no snow on the mountains. So, and judging by the fact that it's 55 degrees in the valley today, it's probably not coming anytime soon. So, we got to get that. Got to get some snow melt up there because that's what keeps those rivers, flowing consistently. And but that said, it sounds like there has been success out there, and I think we could be in for a longer year than normal just because of this no rain event. So, speak more to that.
Yeah, we just need water. Like as soon as so there was a little bit of water over the weekend, and it kind of bumped up half a foot to a foot, and that got everybody out. Because let me tell you, we drove home Saturday from the beach, and if there was not 24 trailers between all the boat ramps, Solly Smith, there was a lot of people out chasing steelhead, and like I said, there's fish around. I got a report from Steelhead Kid Harper. Yesterday they got 1. Today I got a picture of 3 in the box. So there's definitely steelhead out there, and the fishing's been pretty good. Even the boats that came through, I fished off the bank on Saturday morning down just above Solly, and there was 4 boats that came through, and they all said they had gotten one. So, 1 steelhead's a pretty good day. They're hard fish to catch. The fish of 10,000 casts.
That Wilson, man, there's a lot of pressure on that piece of water from the boat launch down to Solly Smith. I mean, what do you figure that is? 3-4 miles worth of river is just hammered daily. So, I wouldn't mind betting there's some opportunities for success up a little higher, but when the water's so low, that's tough. And then the other thing is if you could get down below Solly Smith, there's probably some opportunity. And then let's not forget that there's multiple other coastal streams, the Nestucca, the Trask, there's multiple opportunities here. So,
the Wilson gets the most of the attention. So it's about a 5-mile float. So if you figure there was 24 boats going down 5-mile float, like you said, there's a lot of pressure. But with the hatchery program, like they get a lot of fish. The North Fork Nehalem gets a lot of fish, but there's just not a lot of public land to fish on. And unless you have a raft, you can't really float it. The Trask, I went over there on Saturday. There were no trailers in the parking lot. It's definitely more of a wild fish, and so people just kind of stay away. And then same thing on the Kilchis. Like I went over there, and there was 1 trailer in the parking lot. Just everyone's looking for that hatchery fish to take home. And I got to tell you, sometimes I got no problem just sitting out on those rivers, and I'll take a wild one that I get to fight and watch it jump and pull me around a little bit, and then let it go so it can keep reproducing. I got no problem catching a wild fish here and there.
Yeah, no, I think you and I are both on that same page of, we don't go steelheading to fill the freezer. We go steelheading for the sport and the getting outdoors and getting some fresh air. And I take care of filling the freezer in August. So, I'm absolutely with you. I don't need to go and fish the hatchery rivers to take something home. I'm absolutely 1,000 about the sport and getting outside with a buddy. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm going to go tomorrow morning, and the water's on the drop a little bit, so I'm going to go hit the Nestucca, my favorite fishing hole back behind the sporting goods store, and maybe go fish the dip.
Yeah, don't get me started on that. I won't be able to let that go for a week if I stop that. So,
yep.
Yes, the old over there by the dip. Yes.
It's a good spot. So I'm gonna go out tomorrow, see if I can find one that wants to play with one of my beads, and we'll see what happens. But it's 2 fish already for me for the year. That's pretty darn good, and I'm sure we're gonna probably book a guided trip here at some point as we get a little more rain, probably late February, early March. So hopefully we can get into some more fish. But we did get to go out and do some crabbing, which that was my very first time crabbing. I'd never been crabbing before.
I didn't realize that was your first day. I would have helped you out a little bit more. I had no idea. Crabbings, I mean, yes, too well. This crabbing we did tootling around in the bay was, that's just hanging out, having a good time, telling a few lies with the boys. But wasn't completely unsuccessful. I think we ended up with, 14, 15 keepers?
Yeah, it was. I mean, we had a lot of crab in the pot. It just happened to be just a ton of females and a lot of undersized little guys, which I'm surprised because aren't these things like fattening up right now because it's wintertime? Wouldn't they be getting bigger?
Yeah, so you got to remember the season kind of ended a month ago.
Yeah.
So we're kind of at the tail end of it. So the real good time to go crabbing is right after you're done with salmon. So once you get, if you're looking at the months that end in an October, November, December is even, I think, the best time because September, there's still plenty of opportunities for chasing salmon, whether that be upriver or there's still plenty of opportunity to catch salmon in September. It's not done. But then October, November, that's really that's crabbing time. So I think that'll be a point of emphasis next fall for us. And once we get done chasing cohos and chinooks, we'll switch our focus to crabbing a little bit. So yeah, I think that's I enjoyed it. It's a good time for me. Just a lot of work, man. But the meat tastes pretty good.
Oh, absolutely. So thanks to Chad Jackson and Jackson Painting for taking us out on the water for a day and getting me my first crabbing experience. Want one-on-one coaching that makes a real difference? At Portland Baseball Club, our private lessons give players the focused attention they need to master their game. Work directly with top PBC coaches on your swing, pitching mechanics, fielding footwork, catching, whatever your game needs most. Every session is customized to your goals, your skill level, and your season, helping you see results fast. Train smarter, not just harder, and take your performance to the next level. Book your private lessons today at portlandbaseballclub.com. We got a lot of fishing things actually coming up. So next week is the Sportsman Show here in Portland. So that runs Wednesday through Sunday, which is always a fun event to go out and see all the new products and talk to everybody about fishing. And that same weekend is also the Fly Fishing Show up in Bellevue, which I'm going to head up to for a day and go check out all the newest fly fishing stuff, which will be
so I got to ask you a question.
Go for it.
Why wouldn't they do it the following weekend?
That's a great question.
I'm sorry, but you ain't going to win that battle. No one's going to win that battle. Certainly not the Fly Fishing Show.
But hold on. So the Washington Sportsman Show, so just Washington based, was this past week. So that one ran, I think, Thursday through Sunday. So all the people up in the Washington area and some people from Portland, I made the trip up one year, all went up to Puyallup and did the Washington Sportsman Show. Then you have Super Bowl weekend, and then you go to the Pacific Northwest Sportsman Show, which a Wednesday through Sunday. The Fly Fishing Show Saturday, Sunday. So like me, I'm going to go to the Sportsman Show either Wednesday or Thursday, and then I'll probably head up to the Fly Fishing Show on Saturday. You can easily hit both of those shows. Like there's enough opportunity there, and based on the attendance of both events, I think the Sportsman Show gets roughly 10,000 people per day, and the Fly Fishing Show last year when I was up there on Saturday, it was shoulder to shoulder. It was quite busy. So there's plenty of people. It's fairly spread out enough. But my argument is, there's certain vendors where I want to see at the Fly Fishing Show, when you're in fly fishing mode, I want to see some of the boats and the inflatables and all these things that are now at the Sportsman Show. Like, I think they should all be in one place, and I think that would just make that show a lot better. Enjoyed Lineups and Lures? Like, share, and rate the show to help us grow. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Thanks for listening, and catch you next time on Lineups and Lures.